So today we're going to be taking a look at a scenario where civilization starts over. Now, in the last episode, a good portion of things happened. First of all, nuclear weapons expanded. They expanded a lot. There are now there's another country who has nuclear weapons, and there's also another one who has nuclear weapons stationed in them. We of course saw this war over here in Central Asia continue. Just a lot of stuff happened overall in the world. Anyways, if you guys enjoy these videos, please make sure to like and subscribe. Uh, I'm pretty confident that we're gonna get 800 before the end of the month. So now the goal is 900. Yay. Anyways, let's get right into this video. And let's go over here into Central Africa. These two countries have been very close in history. They fought a war with a red country, I'm pretty sure that was in this area right here. And they are very similar in terms of everything, basically culture, ethnicity, basically everything. They're part of the same people, which was the British Union up here. And they are also part of the same military alliance. They're part of the Anti-Arabian Pact. And with this, they're gonna go ahead and form a country together. They're gonna unite, and they unite into this kind of like purplish kind of color. What just happened? The capital will be in the southern part because it's probably the most populated capital. And now we have another big African country forming up. And of course, this country will stay under the Anti-Arabian Pact Alliance. And speaking of that, let's go ahead and update these nuclear weapon numbers. So let's start in Arabia. They go from 6 to 17. A 11 boost, and that's definitely good for them and their alliance. Egypt goes from 2 to 7. A big gain, but it still is good as they're the newest nuclear power. The Southern French Union goes from 14 to 21, being a little slower than normal, however, it is still a 7+ gain. China goes from 2, what is that? China goes from 2 to 7, a noticeable gain. But then we go to the North Indian Federation. They go from 10 and 1. They go from 21, what? And they then go to 25 to 25 and 4. And these four, oh my, why do I keep doing this? These four will all, of course, be in this country. I'm slurring my words so bad today, and also, like, if it isn't apparent, like, I have, like, my speech is a little slurred because, like, it's kind of annoying. I have an ear infection, and it really hurts. And I really wanted to go away, however, it is not going away for whatever I do, so it is really bothering me. Anyways, let's get off the nuclear weapon layer, because that's not very nice. Let's go to this mess over here, and it's about to get a lot more messier. So as the terrorists find way more success into this gold country and even manage to capture the capital of the country. We see these two do a thing in retaliation, which is kind of like a unification. And this is to stop both of these threats. Anyways, the terrorists will push them back over here and push them into their own country. And this shows that the terrorists do not care. They're just invading anybody possible because they want land, they want population, and they want everything. So as the gold country falls, this of course becomes a part of it. And I'm gonna go ahead and switch this guy's color. I'm gonna switch it to like an orangish brown type color because it just fits more well in the area. But then we see a very interesting event happen, which is China running in on the war. They've had enough. They realize in their alliance, they realize they've had enough. You know, it's just enough. And they know that this is an emerging power in Central Asia and to be very powerful in the future. So the Chinese are going to go ahead and start their invasion of the whatever this is, like the Central Asian Union or something. And their allies in the brown team also do the same thing. And clearly this is just a mess that nobody can really solve at all. And hopefully hopefully nuclear weapons will get involved because that would not be very good. This is just a center of instability and death. But then we go over to Russia. Russia is a very powerful country now. They're definitely in the top 30 nations. They are still starting to rebuild though, and starting to reclaim their Russian status. They're building up their economy again, their military, and most importantly, their stability to make sure this doesn't fall apart like it did back whenever in episode like 25 or something. And they are reviving this. They're doing it steadily but surely. And one of those steps is to regain access and even start to border all these areas and maybe even reclaim their land up to the Yellow Country. So they will start that conquest, the Eastern conquest, with invading the Red Country. The Red Country is not a very strong country at all. It doesn't even have that much population at all. As seen with the population map, they are not a very populated country at all. And as seen with the army map, they are nothing. And after the capital of this country is captured, this country is no more and completely falls over to the Russians. Of course, in peace treaty, they would be fully annexed as all of this land was previously Russian territory. And Russia is definitely now reclaiming their status as, well, the actual old Russian country. And the stability map obviously isn't updated yet, but when it will be. But these guys are now a lime green, so that's good for them. However, let's go over to Central America, where a very interesting event happened. Oh, that's not good. So the Parallelogram Alliance, including literally all these countries, start their invasion of these areas in Central America, which previously did help them out in war. However, they don't care. They capture Belize and encircle the Yucatan. And from here, they would move down the Central American coastline and encircle this whole Nicaraguan area. Pretty sure the Scottish tried to land here once. Anyways, we can see that this area will be captured, and then the whole Yucatan Peninsula falls. But then the South Americans get involved and take the rest of this land right here. And even though they do make a landing over here, but it isn't enough to get into landing the peace treaty, as the Dark Sign team takes the rest over. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the peace treaty. So in the peace treaty, this will be how it goes, with the South American slash Bolivians taking all of this land, which include Costa Rica, Panama, and a little bit of Nicaragua. And then we get the southern Mexican country takes the rest of the land, and man, Peña is lagging a lot today. And we can see that this area is a lot more, well, there's a lot less countries over here in this whole area in general. And the parallelogram alliance is expanding, and who knows, maybe this guy could be a part of it soon, and it'll be a major boost to the alliance. By the way, just note that it is going to be a short video because, once again, the ear infection hurts. I want it to stop. Anyways, let's go over here to Alaska. Alaska has not done much at all, but they are experiencing instability, and they will lose a large amount of areas over here in this kind of eastern part of the country. This includes part of until that lake, and even into this British Columbian slash Alaskan area. This is a parallelogram alliance support for rebellion, and the Alaskans literally can't do anything about it. So the Alaskans are just gonna go ahead and make a they're gonna make a like they're gonna say parallelogram alliance. Just you can have this guy be independent, and that's exactly what they're gonna be doing. So this entire area right here is gonna become independent, and that takes away a lot of the Alaskan country's big resources and just population in general over in this area as well as over here in this area. Of course, this country is gonna join the parallelogram alliance. And not surprisingly, right after we see Washington is going to be on the chopping block. Seems like when you're surrounded by two countries, you can't really do much about it. Anyways, we can see that the Washington people are going to get invaded from the north over here, and also, of course, invaded from the south. And, well, when you, once again, are like Poland, you can't really do much, as a lot of this area has been taken, as well as Vancouver, giving the red team a lot of population, like, a lot of population. However, the Californians slash Arizona, whatever you want to call them, they're going to take a majority of the land. And when all is said and done, it looks like this at the end of the day. And let's go ahead and take a look at this peace treaty. In this peace treaty, Washington gets most of its important areas taken from the Californians. However, a lot of the areas are actually taken by the South Canadians, and that does give them a lot more population in this area. Yes, the Parallelogram Alliance is expanding a lot, but there's now a recent election going on in the Purple Country. And it's just about, do we want to be, do we want to be allied with these guys? One leader, one of the candidates says, yes, we want to be allied, and of course the other one says no. And, well, it's a split, mostly, but the anti-candidate is going to go ahead and win and set up his own alliance in South America. They established the Heart Alliance with them, Guyana, in this country right here in the Brasilia region. Anyways, This is now a rival alliance to the parallelogram, and who knows who will win this like little American war. Or we also have this kind of Asian stuff brewing on, this Middle Eastern stuff, and even this Chinese stuff over here. Or I guess this East Asian stuff, and then this Middle Eastern, and I guess East Africa, or yeah, East Africa. And this is just South versus North America. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. We're trying to reach 8 or 900 subscribers before the end of the month. We are very close. Thank you guys for watching this video so much. Really do appreciate support on these videos. But anyways, goodbye.